snowstorm hits, I promise. Try. First question is, how will you make sure Arizona has enough water to not only survive, but thrive for the next 50 years? What are your ideas to protect Arizona's fragile groundwater supply, particularly in rural areas? And we'll start with David Garcia.
Thank you for this question. Of the many issues we talked about here today, I believe we can solve all of these. But water is one that keeps me up at night because this is getting to the core and heart of our sustainability here in Arizona. This is an issue that needs leadership. To address this issue, we need transparency and we need trust. And our current governor has lost both of those with his negotiations with water right now. And his failed leadership in this area is putting Arizona at risk. What's interesting about this issue is the way to address it is you need to bring everybody to the table. Because if not, it is one group that's going to point the finger at another group. And in the reality, we should not pit one interest against another. It should be everyone working together because this is central to the future of Arizona. Let me give you an example. There are some water talks recently started, way long overdue, by the way, and there are 40 different stakeholders at the table. That is how big this issue ultimately is. Arizona is entering into a drought contingency plan in this area. We've got to begin looking at restrictions so that we can meet that plan. This is going to require every single one of us, as well as those 40 stakeholders at the table, to come together to address this issue. The good news is Arizona has done this before. We have been a leader in water in the western United States, and under my leadership, we will be a leader again. Because my intention is to bring everyone to the table, find a way to address our drought issues, particularly the drought contingency plan, and make sure that we leave an Arizona behind for my daughters and for generations to follow. Thank you.
Part of the reason we're in such a crisis with water now is the direct result of our failure to act on climate change. First day as governor, I will sign an executive order to put Arizona right back in the Paris Climate Change Accords as a state. We're on the front lines of climate change in terms of our water shortages, in terms of our wildland fires, in terms of our heat. Can we stand Sky Harbor being shut for a month and a half every summer because it's too hot to fly at 130 degrees? We must stop this. We must mitigate climate change now. It's too late to stop it. And one of the things we can do is to be able to turn Arizona into what it could be, what Texas was in the 1920s with oil. Forget Texas oil, West Virginia coal. We ought to be powering this country on Arizona sunshine. And we can make a heck of a lot of money on it too, while mitigating our climate change. But in the meantime, we've got to work on the water directly. And I'm proud to have worked in bipartisan ways and co-sponsored a bill that passed last session to allow the agricultural use of hemp. Currently, 70% of our water use right now is agriculture. And the bulk of that is alfalfa and cotton. Hugely thirsty crops. Alfalfa and cotton can be substituted for hemp. Hemp makes great material like cotton, and hemp makes great animal protein for feed, like alfalfa, but it uses 10% of the water to grow. This was something we worked on with the agriculture community, and we were able to get this thing done. It can actually make more money for farmers as well. And then we've got to look at my model for how to deal with water as Governor Bruce Back. In 1980, they created the Groundwater Management Act, where everybody came to the table and created a template around the world for how you deal with water. Well, we need to expand it. And I'd like to see if we could have active management areas, for the individual regions throughout the entire state.
We're in the worst drought in 1,000 years, and our state right now is our governor is selling water out to the highest bidder. Down in the southeast part of the state, out-of-state companies, even out-of-the-country companies, are literally mining our water and sucking our earth dry. So, yep, this is a big deal. I have a plan. Are you surprised?
No.
One of the first executive orders that I will sign will create a 2030 district here in Arizona. 2030 is a national movement. Everyone in the 2030 district agrees to create a plan to cut their carbon emissions and their water use by 50% by 2030. I'll create a non-geographic 2030 district that includes all the state buildings. That's something as governor, I actually have control over. Number two, I'm gonna put together a water task force. That doesn't sound very sexy, but here's the truth. We actually don't know what the answer is. I don't know if we can become the solar capital of the world, because solar energy takes a whole lot of water. We need a comprehensive plan for environmental sustainability in our state. So who's going to be at the table? Well, I hate to say this, because I work in Tucson and I teach at Eller. But some of the best water experts in the world are right here at ASU. So we're going to bring our scientists, energy entrepreneurs that are at work here in Arizona, and impacted communities together to create a comprehensive plan. We've got to make sure the agreements around the Colorado River are right. We've got to work with tribal nations who have extra water and would love to have the revenue by selling that water to us. We have to figure out ways to renew our aquifers. We've got to control development in our state. And I know this is going to hurt Phoenix, but we're going to have to conserve.
Conserve it?
I think we have time to get one more question. I'm going to ask the candidates to limit your answers to this under 1 minute each. Arizona has one of the most lenient requirements in the country for use of vaccine exemptions for students in public schools. Do you support the public health policy of requiring students to be immunized against vaccine-preventable diseases as established by the State Department of Health? And if not, why? And I believe we're starting with
I'm trying to figure out the way that was worded, but I support that we should have to have required vaccines for all children as determined by the Department of Health. We cannot have certain free riders on herd immunity, when I talk about lingo, because we are now already seeing a risk, increasing numbers of parents deciding not to immunize their children based on some faulty science. And that puts all of us at risk. We're actually seeing certain diseases come back. We're actually at risk of potentially polio coming back that we eradicate. And a number of other diseases at risk of coming back if parents decide not to vaccinate their children. There is no scientific evidence of connecting autism with vaccine, period.
You know, this is tougher than it sounds, because the role of the state is to protect and defend individual rights. And I think that I think we have to be very, very careful about what laws we put on your right over your own body. I believe women have a right to choose the reproductive health care that makes the most sense for them, including abortion. I don't think anybody has the right to tell me and my wife that how we live and who we love is wrong. However, when it comes to vaccinations, we're talking about something that has the potential of harming people around you. And so I am in support of following the current laws when it comes to vaccinations for our school kids, 100%.
Yeah, Kelly's got a good point here. This question, the broader question, is this balance between individual rights and the impacts collectively on society and on communities. With respect to this particular question here, I agree as well. The present policy, I have not heard a lot of negative about, and I support the present policy. Although as we go forward, we're going to have to continue to have this balance of making sure we are protecting individual rights as well as protecting communities at the same time. Thank you.